I tried to get over to let that ram in, but car said no thanks. If you're in a situation where you know exactly what the car is going to do, then you will have a higher comfort level with the car. 70 to 55, it's crazy. That short where the car almost killed me, that's the same situation. Really like to see if it parks me in here. Well, where are you going? You should use a turning lane, bud. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly gentlemen, at least according to my analytics. I'm off to Niles today. It should be about 248 miles, I believe. So I'll be going to, that's the whole trip, to Niles, then Bridgman. There's a UPS store in St. Joe that I'll hit, and I'll be coming home. 248 miles total. It's going to take me a little while. I left the house at 78%. I should arrive at my first facility at 30%. It is an hour and 38 minutes away, 109 miles to go. User named Antonio, I think 2455, asked me to change the ambient lights to pink for him, so I did. Hope you enjoy, bud. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the ride. Beautiful day today. Sun is shining. Supposed to be partly cloudy, a high of 47, I think it said. It's currently 40. Everything is looking beautiful. Well, all right then. Not quite sure what that move was about. Like, changed its mind in the middle of the lane change. I don't even know why I was trying to get over into that lane. There's nobody around. Oh, that was rude. I tried to get over to let that ram in, but car said no thanks. Screen clean mode, but there it is. It won't let me do it while I'm driving. So we're gonna do this and this. I'll let the car be crazy because it's getting into an exit only lane to pass people. that's hurry for you, baby. The car is still being weird about where it wants to be in the lane. It's over to the left side of this lane. This is a 3-lane highway. I've noticed it before on 2 lanes, where if it's in the left lane, it wants to be towards the right of the lane. But now we've got 3 lanes, it wants to be towards the left. This lane is ending, so let's see if the car corrects itself. Now we're dead center again. I don't know what it's going on here. Cameras are clean. I didn't clean the screen very well. It's better than nothing. I'll hit it when I can go. I'll clean it at the next facility. Yeah. That's hurry for you. I like the speed that hurry goes. And there we go again. It's right. It's like I want to kiss the semis. It used to get over to the left of the lane. Now it's getting over to the right of the lane when it's passing the semi. There's not a cloud in the sky anywhere on this weather map, which is the best thing that Tesla ever added. A problem with the Tesla is that it's not consistent. If you're in a situation where you know exactly what the car is going to do, then you will have a higher comfort level with the car. The fact that it'll pass a semi and get over to the left side of the lane to be safe, or stay dead, and the next time it'll stay dead center because that's where it wants to drive, and the next time it'll get over to the right of the lane and make the driver kind of uncomfortable, is crazy. You know, you gotta be consistent. If you want to get over to the left side of the lane with this semi, you need to get over to the left side of the lane with all the semis, unless for some reason you can't. So I'm going to put it down in standard and see if it behaves any differently near this semi. Nah, it doesn't care. Right in the center of the lane. Whatever. This is why I dislike standard, because it slowed down from 77 to 72 and just stay behind this person. Pass him. Hurry would be over there flying around. I mean, you saw it do the going from the passing lane to the driving lane to the exit only lane so it could get around a group of traffic. But standard is like, nah, I'm okay going slow. So back to hurry we go. And as soon as I put it in hurry, it's like, nah, I'm passing this dude. But I also want it to get back over when it's done passing that dude. Oh, don't do that, bud. Oh, okay. That was weird. So I think what it was doing is it saw the car stopped on the left side of the road and it kicked into, oh, I see a car stopped. I have to move over. It just decided to move over the wrong direction. And I think that was because we were going around a right curve and it saw the car over here, even though it was going to end up over here. Oh, what are you going to do, Tesla? You're not going to make that gap. You've got about a half a mile before your turn. Giving it up. Very smart. I would start putting on the blinker, though. You got to, yeah. There you go. That was better. The fact that it did that in hurry mode, though, like, it could have just tried to dive around the semi that was in front of us in the middle lane to get to this exit. It could have. Glad it didn't. So Tesla will not change lanes when that is on the road. And it didn't. And as soon as it could, it got over. It put on the blinkers saying, I want to change lanes, but it didn't go. It's good for it. Thank you for getting right back over. No need to drive in that passing lane. Good on you, Tesla. Waiting for the second car to pass before it decides to pass itself. Like, it could have wedged itself between those two cars in front of us, but it decided to be polite and not do that. 70 to 55. It's crazy. Slow down. So now it's down to 60. I believe it will do just fine. So if I touch the speed limit sign on the screen, it will reset my max speed to the 40% offset. So I had dropped it down to about 68, I think, and it bumped it back up to 78. And it's not speeding up again, which is great. I'm also in the standard profile instead of hurry. That could have something to do with it. But man, jumping off the highway and then deciding to keep going at highway speeds in a 55 is a bit much. 15 over. Jogger in the road on the right. Are we going to be nice? It gets over, not far enough, really. I would split that lane, you know. I'd put the middle of the car right over that line, just to make that jogger feel more comfortable. If there were no cars coming, it would have been fine. Now, technically, that would have been breaking the law. I believe that was a double solid yellow line back there. That's probably why the car didn't do it. But I still would have done it if I was fully in control of the car. Next turn is onto a street called State Line Road. It's called State Line because it is the border of Michigan and Indiana, which is kind of funny. So when I turn on that road, as I'm driving down that road, I will technically be in Indiana. But when I turn into the facility, I'll be turning back into Michigan, which is pretty funny. Technically, I am in Indiana. They live in Indiana. They live in Michigan. So weird. Will the car find me a parking spot? Huh? So it's trying to park me here. And it's doing the wheel twisty thing. We're just going to stay here forever. Oh, I take that back. For some reason, it's backing up. Where are you going, bud? Still trying to get me here. You're taking me to the front door. Did it pull over because this car might have been in the way? All right, it's taking me to the front door. I'm going to go park. So I've had it pull into a spot and then sit there and just twist the wheel forever and ever until I got annoyed with it and said, hey, knock that off. But I never had it back up and try again. Inconsistency, God. That's the only consistent thing about Tesla is that it's inconsistent. But the fact that you can do auto park and it does this, gets you perfectly in the center, tells me that the car could have done this on its own. It didn't need me to tell it where to park. It could have picked any one of these spots and I would have been fine with it. Whatever. Driving down here, the only time I touched the wheel is when Tesla was like, hey, pay attention. Prove to me that you're paying attention. Or if I was trying to get it out of the lane that it was driving in. I did change the max speed when it was going 70 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour speed zone. What else did I do? I think that was it. I just took over here at the very end because it was going to try to drive me to the front door and let me out there. It got me here at 33%. It said that I was going to get here at 30 when I left this morning. So I'm happy that I got an extra 3% out of it. That entire leg was 285 watt hours per mile. Took me an hour and 37 minutes. I think it said an hour 38, which is not too shabby. Next place is 37 minutes away. It's 28 miles, and it says I'll get there at 23%. All right, let me knock this place out. I'll be back in a sec. Finished up in there, still 33%. Next place is still 38 minutes, 28 miles away. Get there at 23%, just like before. Let's go. The random blinkers. They're weird. That was a random right blinker. Blinked twice and then said, nah. Nah. So we've got a truck off half into the road. And it goes around. That's the situation that short where the car almost killed me. That's the same situation. Except this time I could see and I knew the car could see the oncoming traffic, which wasn't there. So I was okay with it going around. But man, the number of subscribers I got because of that one short, it's off the chain. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or anything for any of my videos, go ahead. Leave them down below. And I don't have a problem implementing things like that. Like I turned my lights pink because one user requested it. I don't have a problem with stuff like that. When I put the stats of the car up right here, that came from a user. Oh, they were like, hey, you should do this. Yeah, no problem. There's something you want me to do, I'll most likely do it. Back on the highway, I'll put us back up to hurry so we can do some decent speeds. It's not going to be much, just about 9 miles, and then we're off the highway again. Oh, actually, there was a cop there. I'm sure it's not there anymore, but there was one. So I'll keep us on standard. Standard is so nice, so polite. Like, it was speeding. It could have stayed in this lane until it passed these people. But it was like, nah, I'll get over and I'll slow down a little bit and let this car pass. And then I'll get right back over and do my thing. So polite. If only all drivers in the world were like that, we probably wouldn't have as many traffic jams. Okay, then. That's more appropriate of going around. I know it just did what the semi did in front of it. Just follow the leader. But if it could do that every time, that would be awesome. Use the blinkers on everything. Got way over everything. It's perfect. Really like to see if it parks me in here. Well, where are you going? No, I'm not going to stop it. I don't know what it's doing. Parking lot is, I mean, it's back here, I guess. I usually park up front because that's where the door is. I've actually never been back here. You just giving me a tour of the place? All right, this is where you want to drop me off, huh? No big deal. We won't be doing this though. I was gonna say I hope the car, or I wonder if the car is gonna park me up front because they have a half circle parking area where the parking spots are narrow at the front and wide at the back, so it's kind of strange to park in it. I was really curious what the car was gonna do. I mean, I guess I could get it to park itself. Yeah, it's saying I could park there. I don't think I've ever used auto park here. Yeah, it's a little confused about it because it's at a weird angle, you know. It follows the curve. So the front is narrower than the back, which is wider. It's doing it. It's doing it right too. You see how the cars are weird angles? It perfectly did it though. Whatever. Um, I actually got here at 24% instead of the 23 that was predicted. That was 206 watt hours per mile. Now, granted, we were stuck behind a semi the entire time. I was not going as fast as I would have normally, but that's amazing. And the fact that it got me here with 1 extra% is great. UPS store is 17 minutes away, 14 miles. Should get there at 20%. All right, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be right back. All right, finished in there. Got to go to the UPS store, which is 17 minutes away, 14 miles. Get there at 20%. Nothing's changed. See if the car wants to take me to the back of the facility this time. It was funny. There was a guy in the car next to me smoking a cigarette, and I had to get in my trunk. And the car was up on it. It was like backed up all the way to the curb. So I summoned it forward just a little bit, and his jaw just dropped so far. It was so funny. I wish I could have got that on tape, but you know, whatever. You should use a turning lane, bud. Not going to? Alrighty. It's done that randomly too, just turning from the driving lane instead of using the clearly marked turning lane. Arrival percentage is dropping fast, but it is preconditioning because I'm going to go to a supercharger right after I go to the UPS store. I hate this intersection. They need to put a light here. This probably is going to be terrible, but it usually is. I usually take the back roads to avoid this particular intersection, if you want to call it that. I don't know. But when there's no cars coming that way, there's cars coming this way. And if there's no cars coming either way, there's cars turning left here. It's horrendous. I can go if I go quick. So I'm all set to go. I will get to the supercharger at 14% apparently. It's probably going to be less than that because I believe it'll start preconditioning again. So I'm going to hold and see what happens. Oh, it put itself forward. Now reverse. All right, good deal. And we're not moving. So I have to nudge. I'm going to nudge it. Just to let it know that it can go if it needs to. All right. Which direction are you going to go, bud? Perfect choice. I appreciate that. Backed up a smidge more. So you didn't go over this curb, but whatevs. That was a whole lot less stressful than me trying to do that myself. Not that I couldn't do it, but why do I have to do it if the car will? All right, I'm going to be here as long as it takes me to eat something, and then I'm out. I don't need that much charge, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to end the video here simply because I'm going to my mom's house instead of going straight home. So I'm rocking 247 kilowatts right now and 250, so it's perfectly good. The way that it preconditioned the battery was excellent. I got here at 12%. It says I'll get to home in an hour and 12 minutes. It's 80 miles from now. So 80 plus 160 is 240 miles. I think I said 268 today. I don't know how I messed that up, but whatever. Yeah, that's it. Today was a good drive. I mean, it did some wonky stuff, but it wasn't over the top annoying stuff, you know. It turned from the driving lane instead of using the passing lane. It gets closer to semis instead of moving away from them. It's nothing obnoxious. So yeah, overall, I think version 13 is fantastic. But whatever. Leave your questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns down below, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. If you really liked it, share it with somebody else. Maybe they'll like it too. Hit the like button, and if you really, really liked it, you could hit subscribe to see more in the future. All right, thanks for watching. Deuces. Put it in screen clean mode. It turns the whole thing black. You don't have to worry about touching the wrong thing. When you're done, you just touch there and hold it, and it'll exit in 3 seconds. And you're back to normal.